We're back for another update. Let's take a look at XRP here today. And like I said in my previous video, I did say that if we were able to get above $2.33 on the 4-hour time frame, then it's very likely we're going to have a continued move up towards the higher retracements. And so far, this is what we're seeing. We're currently above the 61.8% fib, reaching towards our two major point of interest that we've been talking about over the span of 2 weeks. That would be sitting at 271 and 289. And the reason we're targeting 271 and 289 next is simply because this is the 70.2 to 78.6% fib. When you take a fib from the January high over here down to the April low right over here. Now, because this is a Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic, we may see a move right towards the 88.6% fib, sitting at around $3.11. See a little bit of chop here in consolidation before we have continuation to the upside to go and attack the last all-time high, sitting at around 380, I believe. If we go back in 2018. We see here that the top was 330. Yeah, so we should be going to attack 330. Once this consolidation finishes up here at the top, I'm thinking we make our way to around 311, 312 at the top of this reaccumulation range, consolidate a bit, maybe even consolidate above it, and then finally have continuation up. Now, this is the post that I gave to my members back when we were down here at $2.11, right? I was I was signaling to them that this could have been a ABC running flat where the C wave fails to terminate beyond the bottom of your A wave. And I actually put this video out on YouTube the day it happened. I believe it was May 8th. I was saying that this correction could be over and it would be confirmed by a move above $2.33. And we finally got that. So this is the reaccumulation schematic. As you guys can see on the weekly time frame, we had no weekly close below the 200-day moving average. We actually wicked below it right over here on the weekly time frame, closed back into the range, formed a doji the next week. The week after that, we had a bullish engulfing, a doji the week after, and then last week's candle swept the lows of the week before it, with your draw on liquidity being the 200-day moving average. And I did say in the previous video that if the last week's candle pushed towards this high over here, sitting at $2.59, then it's very likely the week after that we're going to see continuation up towards our point of interest, our higher point of interest, which would be 255, 271, and then 289. So we're currently seeing that right now. It looks like we're going for what's called a jump across the creek. So if we take a look here, you can see how we've been just creaking down here, creaking back and forth, confusing investors and traders, thinking every time we break out to the upside here, we're going to see a full-on breakthrough, but we just keep getting knocked down, right? So this is why it's called the creek, because you're creaking down, and then all of a sudden, you see a slam down below psychological support, a reversion back towards the mean, or back into the range, and then you have, so this would be considered your spring, and this would be considered your test, because you're testing the bottom end of this range as support before you have your jump across the creek. So this is XRP over here. Very, very bullish on XRP. Next target. Now we are finding a little resistance at mid-range, but regardless, I still do think that we should see a move towards 271, 289, and $3.11. This is the reaccumulation schematic. I'm gonna show you guys the wave count now. So let's just delete all of these drawings here, and I'll show you guys the wave count over here. So this is the wave count. Coming down here on the 4-hour time frame, it looks like this was a huge WXY correction. This was your 5-wave move to the upside in the form of a leading diagonal, hence why we have overlapping waves, right? These are your overlapping waves. Then you have a ABC correction down in the form of a running flat or a WXY, however you want to regard this. And then it looks like we're seeing continuation now towards the higher Fibonacci extensions. As you guys can see, we are within wave 5 of 5. Coming up here to the daily time frame, we do see that going all the way back to 2018, this was just a huge wave 4 pennant, right? This was your wave 3 high in 2018, right? So you have your wave 1, you have your wave 2, then you have your wave 3 over here, and then you have your wave 4 pennant spanning over 2,300 days. Notice how every wave subdivides into 3, and this is exactly what you see with pennants and triangle patterns in the Elliott wave theory. And then on the 4-hour time frame, going back to July of 2024, we have a 5-wave move to the upside for your wave 1, a WXY for your wave 2, and then we have expansion out of this 2,300 day long range for your wave 3 to the upside with an extension within the 5th wave, a WXY correction spanning over 147 days in the form of Wyckoff reaccumulation. And now we're starting our impulsive move to the upside, or in other words, our distribution phase or expansion out of this reaccumulation range. Okay, so this is XRP over here. Going forward, what I'm expecting is a move up to 272 and 289, and you may see some resistance come in over here, so you may see a little bit of a pullback, but you may also just go right up to $3.12, right at the top of this reaccumulation range. Okay, now I did point out in the previous XRP video that the 3-day MACD was turning bullish. So let's go ahead and take a look at this 3-day MACD. And you guys can see here that the last time I showed you this, we were under the 0 line and we were crossing up, right? And we only had one green tick on the histogram. But now we've just crossed above the 0 line. We've just crossed above it. And now we have 5 green ticks on the histogram. So it looks like things are starting to wake up, right? Not only XRP, but we're also seeing the rest of the altcoin market wake up as well. Like taking a look here at total 3, you guys can see here that we're going in for our last explosive wave to the upside. Okay, this is the 3-day time frame right here. You see, we're going in for the last wave, and it'll be the most explosive wave, and that's usually what you see in blow off top scenarios. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Total 3 is above the 200-day moving average. We were pointing out this inverted head and shoulders for some time now. And yeah, looks pretty good. If you guys enjoyed the content, then click the link in the description below to join the Discord so you guys can stay updated with all of my posts about XRP and all of your favorite assets. You guys can ask me any questions you want. If you like the content, like, share, subscribe. Peace out and take it easy. I'll see you guys in the next one.